What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Wednesday, and welcome to another edition of Quita in the Morning. Guys, we have a lot to talk about today. We have some updates about yesterday's games. We also have some injury updates to share, as well as the feature story of how the WNBA is destroying themselves, one misstep at a time. As a almost lifer WNBA fan, we got some honest truths to say, and I hope y'all are ready to listen. All right, Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Guys, let's first start off by talking about the games that happened yesterday. And it involved a whole bunch of teams, guys. Actually, let me just make sure my sound is good. It involved a whole bunch of teams. So, yeah, basically everybody played yesterday. Yesterday we saw 5 games and 10 teams suit up. And yeah, we first saw the New York Liberty take down the Minnesota Lynx. Guys, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. When Jonquel Jones gets a double-double, guys, it's curtains for the opposite team. And that's exactly what she did yesterday. She took care of business, leading the charge for her squad. 22 points for Jonquel Jones. And the former MVP was in her bag, doing her thing. 10 rebounds for her. Rocked out. Fantastic game by the New York Liberty. Getting the job done against the Minnesota Lynx. So they hand the Minnesota Lynx their 6th loss of the season. We also saw the Connecticut Sun take down the Washington Mystics. And guys, the Connecticut Sun have a fantastic future ahead of them. And when I'm talking about future, I'm talking about the youngsters, right? I'm talking about Sanaya Rivers, who had a masterful game yesterday. 17 points, get into her spots, shot very efficiently from the field. And when Sanaya Rivers is in her bag, y'all, it's tough. It's tough to go against. We saw it at NC State. She's slowly been getting the WNBA feel this season, but what a fantastic future that she has ahead. Olivia Nelson-Ododa, also really good game as well. Not so much of a great game for some of the other players, including Marie Mabry, who only shot 40% from the field, had 9 points. But with that being said, the Connecticut Sun get the job done. I rhymed there. Y'all like that? Anyway, the Washington Mystics, Sonia Citron did her thing. 19 points for her. The rookie of the year has been rocking and rolling this season. Even though her team loses, she still does lead the charge. Stephanie Dolson was out of that game due to a left leg injury. We also saw J.C. Sheldon not play as well. So those were 2 big losses. However, with that being said, the Connecticut Sun still got the job done. All right, final score of that game was 80 Sun, 69 Washington Mystics. We also saw the Seattle Storm come into Chicago and take care of business. It was storming yesterday, not outside, but inside of Wintrust Arena as the Seattle Storm took down the Sky. Final score 94 Storm, 88 Chicago Sky. This was the return of Angel Reese, and boy, oh boy, did the Chicago Sky miss her greatly. We went from barely scoring points and struggle busing through the season, right? The last couple of games for the Chicago Sky, they score 59, 62, 70. Yesterday, they scored 88 points in Angel's return. She did lead the charge, But unfortunately, she was no match for Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins showed up and showed out big time. She was knocking down shot after shot after shot after shot. It got to the point where fans was like, come on now, Skylar, we love you, but at the same time, stop shooting on us. 24 points for Skylar. Nneka had 3 big threes as well, 21 points for her. The Chicago Sky do have a massive run in the fourth quarter where they score over 30 points in that fourth quarter, but it just wasn't enough to stage the comeback. For the Chicago Sky, as I said earlier, Angel Reese did her thing, 19 points. She does not get a double-double yesterday, only 7 rebounds in her first game back in a long, long time. We also saw big performance by Kia Nurse, especially in that fourth quarter, where she knocked down 3 threes. She ended up with 13 points in yesterday's game for the Chicago Sky. So yes, they lose, but moral victory for the Chicago Sky. We also saw the Las Vegas Aces taking care of business against the Atlanta Dream. This was a nail-biter of a game that went down to the wire. However, at the end of the day, the Las Vegas Aces were able to get the job done at home. And we saw, surprise, A'ja Wilson, another 32-plus point game. I mean, this is what she does. She eats 30-point games for breakfast. I mean, what else can you say about the amazing A'ja Wilson, the turning into a WNBA MVP frontrunner? I'm just saying. Absolutely does her thing in yesterday's game. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 blocks. It was amazing to see from A'ja Wilson. But with that being said, the Atlanta Dream had a chance to win this game, right? They looked really good. They looked in control for the majority of this game, but in the fourth quarter, the Las Vegas Aces surged back and made some stuff happen and ended up getting the win. Not only did A'ja Wilson do her thing, we also saw a really good performance, as per usual, by Jackie Young. 16 points for her as the Aces win. We saw for the Atlanta Dream, Brittany Griner with 16 points. We saw Ryan Howard leading the charge for the Dream with 19 points, but it just wasn't enough. Alicia Gray, 16 points, but it wasn't enough as the Aces win. Once again, their streak continues. And then finally, we had the Phoenix Mercury versus the Golden State Valkyries. At halftime, the Mercury were down bad, and it looked like the Mercury were about to lose this game. However, guys, we saw Kalia Kappa say, not so fast, Golden State. I'm about to put this team on my back, and I'm about to take care of business. And that is exactly what she did, as the Phoenix Mercury got the dub. Final score 98 Mercury, 91 for the Valks. And for Phoenix, it was all Kalia Copper. 25 points for Ka, 5 rebounds. She was doing her thing. Alyssa Thomas almost gets close to another triple-double. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists for the Engine, and the Unicorn added in 17 points of her own. Natasha Mack, really good minutes, really good buckets. Natasha Mack goes 7 of 7 from the field yesterday. Woo. What we talking about? And for Golden State, well, Veronica Burton had a masterful first half. Finished the game with 24 points. I think she had close to 18 points in the first half alone. 14 assists. Count them. 14 assists from Veronica Burton. And best part about it, goose egg for turnovers. 24 points, 14 assists, 0 turnovers. What a game by Veronica Burton, especially in that first half. It was amazing to see. And guys, sky's the limit for most improved player of the year, Veronica Burton. I'm calling it now. She is the most improved player. All right. So those are the games that happened yesterday. Again, we're just breezing through this. We got a lot to cover today, and so we're not going to spend too much time focusing on it. But I do also want to talk about some other things that we found out yesterday. And yesterday we got some injury updates that I want to share with you all. First up, we're going to start with the Dallas Wings. We saw the Dallas Wings announce that Arike Ogunbowale was diagnosed with tendonitis in her right knee. They said that Arike will be sidelined still and will be reevaluated in the coming weeks. So it's likely, they're not saying it for sure, but it's very much likely that Arike Ogunbowale will not suit up again for the Dallas Wings because they say she's going to be reevaluated in the coming weeks. And there's literally only weeks left until the end of the season. So it's likely she probably won't play for the rest of the season. But they're not saying it just yet. We also heard another set of bad news from the Dallas Wings, and this one involved Leah Rue. We found out yesterday that Leah Rue is out for the remainder of the season. She has suffered an ACL sprain in her left knee. She sustained the injury during the Dallas Wings game against the LA Sparks on August 15th. And so she'll be back healthy and make a full recovery. However, it won't be in time to finish the season. So Leah Rue is out for the remainder of the year. She gave a huge boost to the Dallas Wings once she joined the team from Seattle. And yeah, now she's out for the remainder of the year. That was not the only news that we heard about season-ending injuries. We also found out that Sophie Cunningham will miss the remainder of the season, guys. The Indiana Fever announced that yesterday that she's going to miss the rest of the season after suffering an injury during Sunday's game against the Connecticut Sun. She has had an injury in her right knee, and so, yeah, she is out for the Indiana Fever, and we'll see what the Fever are going to do as a result. We did see the Fever make the decision to sign Shea Petty to a 7-day contract. They waived Kyra Lambert. It's most likely the reason why they added Shea Petty. I know people are like disrespecting Shea Petty because she's short and blah, 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 blah. Shea Petty is someone who is a vet. She's been in the league for a long time. And she knows how to fit in with the team. This team needs more veteran presence. This team needs more guards who can just come in and know what to do from day one. And Shea Petty is someone who is more likely to do that. And so we'll see what happens from here. But they did sign Shea Petty. Okay. All right. So those are your updates via injury. All right, those are your updates. But yeah, Sophie Cunningham is out for the rest of the season. She did tear her MCL in her leg. So yeah, not great, but not bad, not horrible. It's better than an ACL tear, I think. I think it is better. But yeah, we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, the Fever say it was a right knee injury, and Sophie says it was an MCL. So she did give us some clarity on that piece. Okay. All right. Now, I want to get to a very important topic. All right. This is a topic that I've updated you all on in the past, but we do have a new update to share with you all. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into the story. All right. You all ready? Because yeah, we got a lot to talk about. And also, guys, if y'all could, please make sure to hit that like button. Also make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. We are trying to grow on this channel. It looks like there's a little bit of retraction in terms of the numbers and whatnot for the morning show, but we are chugging along, and it would be very much appreciated if you all could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell other people about this. Okay, now let's get to the topic. Okay. Because I have an update for you all on the Connecticut Sun sale. And guys, it has gotten even messier. The Mohegan Tribe is now going to be presenting multiple offers to the WNBA after the league pushed back on a record-breaking $325 million deal. And to really understand how we got here, I want to walk through a timeline for you all. I want to walk through what I consider a series of chapters in this horrible story that the WNBA is writing. All right. Now, let's start off with the first chapter. Chapter 1. Let's begin. The sale process. Last season, the Mohegan Tribe quietly launched a process to explore investment options. At first, it was kind of a modest thing. You were thinking, okay, maybe they're going to sell a minority stake to help fund a practice facility. But they also did leave the door open for a full franchise sale. So that's the thing. That's exciting, right? Exciting. Here comes chapter 2. When the WNBA learned of the tribe's plans to either sell the full franchise or get a minority stake, the WNBA went to the tribe and said, hey, the Cleveland Cavaliers want to have a WNBA team. How about, since you're interested in possibly selling, how about you sell the team to the Cleveland Cavaliers? Right? The reason why the WNBA wanted to do that is because the Cleveland Cavaliers was seen as a strong expansion candidate. And relocation would have been pretty simple to move from Connecticut to Cleveland. It would have also allowed the WNBA to give Cleveland's expansion slot to Houston. So the WNBA, when they found out, they were like, hey, let Cleveland bid on the sale and give it to Cleveland. But the tribe declined Cleveland's deal. The reason why they declined is because sources say that the bid came in below $250 million. The tribe, in their talks with people, they learned that, hey, the Connecticut Sun is actually worth more than $250 million. So they're like, hey, you know what? Cleveland, you're going to give us less than $250 million. We're going to pass. We're going to pass on selling the team to the Cleveland Cavaliers ownership group, which is what the WNBA wanted. The WNBA wanted that, but the tribe found out they can get more money elsewhere. So they're like, you know what? No. Now for Cleveland, they were later awarded a WNBA expansion team. But that decision to reject Cleveland's offer, I think put a big sour taste in the WNBA's mouth. And from then on out begins a series of the WNBA flexing their muscle against the tribe. And also, if y'all don't know, the Mohegan Tribe is the owners of the Connecticut Sun. All right, so pushback begins after Cleveland was rejected. In April, the WNBA sends a letter to the tribe reminding them that, hey, by the way, any sale that you want to make, it requires the WNBA's Board of Governors approval. And they also ended up sending that again, and also saying that, hey, you know what? You remember what we said before about how we have to approve? And also, you are locked to a 75-mile radius around Uncasville. What's outside of the radius of Uncasville is Boston. Basically, this was the WNBA saying, you know what? We know you're thinking about Boston. We know. And no, that's outside the radius. They sent another letter in June, basically doubling down on that same restriction. Interesting, right? Interesting. The translation, in my opinion, was clear. The WNBA is flexing their muscle and was repeatedly telling the Mohegan Tribe, you do not control any moves. It is the league, not the tribe, that controls whether or not you sell. It controls whether or not you relocate, and it controls how much money you make from it. Yeah, that's the WNBA flexing their muscle. Chapter 4. The league was like, actually, I know you rejected Cleveland, but we have an offer for you. Now, this is new information. This is new information that just came out yesterday. We found out that the WNBA, before Boston's bid became public, we found out that the WNBA, the league itself, actually made an offer for the Connecticut Sun. The league said, you know what, Connecticut? We will give you $250 million to buy the Sun outright. The league wanted to buy it because the league wanted to control where the Sun went. So the league was like, hey, $250 million, it's yours. Tribe will give it over to you. Sell us the team. Sell the team to the league. The key is with that, the league wouldn't charge a relocation fee, meaning that they could then resell the team to one of their preferred expansion cities. But the tribe was like, no. This team is worth more than $250 million. The reason why we know that is because you're offering it to us. You're not going to offer us the same for the same amount of money that you would sell for. We know the league is growing. We know teams' value is high, and we know our value is more than $250 million. So the tribe was like, you know what? No. We're not selling to the league for $250 million. It's chapter 4. Chapter 5. The Pagliuca deal emerges publicly. On July the 2nd, the Mohegan Tribe informed the WNBA that they had reached an agreement in principle with Boston's Steve Pagliuca. He is the minority owner of the Boston Celtics. He's not the majority owner. He's the minority owner of the Boston Celtics. The tribe presented a summary of terms. Basically, a summary of terms is basically all the guts of the deal is basically there. They presented a summary of terms to the WNBA, but not a signed term sheet because they actually can't sign it because they can't sell it without the league's approval. So they sent that to the league. Right? The next month, we find out that the Pagliuca group is offering $325 million plus $100 million for a new practice facility. His plan is to relocate the Connecticut Sun to Boston by 2027 and have them play games at TD Garden, which is where the Boston Celtics play. And where the team has already sold out 2 games in recent years. And no, both of those games were not against the Fever. But the WNBA quickly pushed back. The reason for the pushback for the WNBA? Hey, Boston. Here's the thing. You never submitted an expansion bid. And the league wants to save the Boston market for later in expansion. Now, you may say expansion and selling a team is not the same thing. It's not. Buying a team that already exists is different than creating a team from scratch. But the WNBA, they see it as the same thing. It's not. Boston did not apply for an expansion bid because, speculation, opinion. In my opinion, I think they already thought that Connecticut would eventually sell and they would just buy it. Because why would you make an expansion bid when about 100 miles away, Connecticut is looking like they're eventually going to sell? Why would you? You wouldn't. That's the thing. So Boston does not apply for an expansion bid. And the league is saying, because you did not apply, you're not going to be able to purchase this team. You're not going to be able to purchase it. Not the same thing, but to the WNBA, it's the same thing. Okay. We'll go to chapter 6. After Pagliuca's exclusivity deal window ended up expiring, we ended up seeing a new billionaire join the fold. And his name is Marc Lasry. He is the former owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. He jumps in and says, you know what? I'll match what Boston's doing. I'll give you $325 million. And in return, I want the team to move right down the road to Hartford. Now, technically, it's not right down the road. It's about 45 miles away from Unkinsville, but basically right down the road, still in Connecticut. So Marc is like, hey, WNBA, I'll keep this team in Connecticut. I'll give this team exactly what Boston's given them. We'll relocate to Hartford's People's Bank Arena, which holds over 15,000 in terms of seats, actually 16,000. Right? I'll build a training facility in downtown Hartford. And the league, once again, basically said no. But here's the thing. You all remember a couple chapters ago when we talked about the WNBA's letter to Connecticut? Do you all remember that? You all remember the letter? The letter that said that, hey, Connecticut Sun territory, you can't relocate to a territory outside of 75 miles away from your facility. 75 miles around Unkinsville does not include Boston, but it does include Hartford. Hartford's about 45 miles away. So that's an interesting wrinkle that we will explore another time. Because, 45 miles away is in the relocation bubble that basically the Connecticut Sun have. So, interesting. Now, where in the world are we? Where are we? Where do we land? We're going to eventually land this plane. Where are we going? Well, with Boston and Hartford both blocked for right now, the Tribe is pissed. And sources are telling ESPN that, hey, they feel like the WNBA is taking them to one spot. It feels like, to the Tribe, it feels like the WNBA is steering them to sell at the league's valuation to the league's chosen market. The WNBA is basically dictating who the tribe sells to and for how much they get paid. So, now, the tribe is preparing to present 4 offers to the WNBA. Offer 1, full sell to Steve Pagliuca's Boston group. Option 2, full sell to Marc Lasry's Hartford group. Both of those 2 deals, 1 and 2, is for $325 million. Both. So option 1, the tribe gets $325 million. Option 2, the tribe gets $325 million. 1 goes to Boston, Massachusetts. 2 stays in Connecticut, goes to Hartford. Option 3 is to sell a minority stake, keeping the control of the team still in Connecticut. Like, they'd sell a minority stake. Maybe they would sell part of the team to Marc Lasry, and maybe they'll have half of the games in Uncasville, half of the games in Hartford, right? Maybe that's an option. Now, I don't think 3 is that great of an option, because it feels like the tribe actually does want to get out of the WNBA business. Why wouldn't you? Why would you want to stay in the WNBA when they're treating you like this? My take is later, because we about to really get into that. Okay. Or option 4 is to let the WNBA buy the team for $325 million and relocate. So option 4 is like, hey, WNBA, you want it so bad, we'll match us the money. You offered $250 million, that's too low. Sure, WNBA, you can buy it, but you got to give us $325 million. You got to give it to us. Okay? So those are the 4 options that the tribe will present to the WNBA. 3 of those options give the tribe exactly the money that they want. $325 million. That's what the tribe wants. They want $325 million. That's what Boston's offering. That's what Hartford's offering. And the WNBA, if you want to buy it, that's what you need to offer too. It's basically what the tribe is saying. So, what's the bottom line? Well, the bottom line is this. That this is not about cities anymore. Right? This isn't about Boston or Hartford. This is about control and money. That's what this is about. The Mohegan Tribe, which are the owners of the Connecticut Sun, they want to maximize their exit. Why wouldn't they? And at the same time, there's a lot of billionaires who want into the WNBA. You got the billionaires of the NBA, and you have the billionaires outside of the NBA that want a piece. Marc Lasry, Steve Pagliuca. But the WNBA wants to set the terms, keep expansion fees high, and push the Connecticut Sun towards a market that it chooses. Likely, in this case, the WNBA wants to push the Connecticut Sun to Houston. That's what everything indicates, is that they wanna send the team to Houston. Now, there's a huge risk. A huge risk in chasing that long-term vision is that the league could alienate one of its most loyal ownership groups and discourage new independent investors, and also piss off fans. So, with that being said, let's get to my take. Let's get to my take. My big headline take is that the WNBA only wants NBA billionaires. Let's expand that. All right. Here's the truth, guys. Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA are making a massive mistake. If you all remember, maybe you all don't remember, but I remember. back in the early 2000s, the NBA, and specifically NBA teams, were bailing on the WNBA in droves. Bailing. The reason why the WNBA had 12 teams for a long time is because we had more in the past, and NBA teams said, you know what? I don't want to foot the bill. I don't want to foot the bill for the WNBA. No, I don't want it. Shoo WNBA. You're a little side project. I don't want you anymore. So NBA teams were bailing in droves on the WNBA because they didn't see the value. They didn't want the responsibility. And who stepped up? Who stepped up and bought what is now known as the Connecticut Sun? Well, it was the first ever independent owner in the WNBA, and that is the Mohegan Tribe. The Mohegan Tribe saved the Connecticut Sun, which was in Florida, but then nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted the team. Nobody wanted the team. And the Mohegan Tribe said, you know what? We actually believe in the future of women's basketball. We think we can do this. Yes, we'll buy the team. The Mohegan Tribe saved a WNBA team. When the NBA teams were leaving in droves, the Mohegan Tribe said, you know what? We believe in this. We believe in the future of the league. So they saved the team. They invested in it when no one else would. They kept women's basketball alive on a professional level in Connecticut for 20 years. And this is how you thank them. This is how you thank them. You thank them by saying, you know what? Mohegan Tribe, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you did for the WNBA back in the day, right? Back in the day when people weren't watching. Back in the day when the WNBA was still the butt of everyone's joke. Back in the day when the NBA basically said, and NBA teams basically said, we didn't want you, right? Back when the Orlando Miracle was folding because the Orlando Magic didn't want it. In 2003, the Connecticut Sun said, I'll step up. Yeah, we'll take the Orlando Miracle. We'll make it into the Connecticut Sun. And your thanks for this, your thanks to the Connecticut Sun for being loyal for 20 plus years, for believing in the league. Your thanks is to say, my way or the highway. My way or the highway. Connecticut, you want to sell? What they do? I don't care. I want you to sell to the team I want you to sell it to for the price I want you to sell it to. That's how the WNBA thanks the Connecticut Sun. That's how you thank the Mohegan Tribe. You thank them by blocking them from selling their own franchise. I understand the WNBA has the power to do that, but that's not respect, guys. That's hostility. Yes, I've been a big fan of Kathy Engelbert. I love some of the big things she did for the WNBA, right? Big sponsorships. We saw record attendance, strong TV deals. I've applauded all of that. But this move is a slap in the face. This one is a massive blunder, a huge one. The reason why? Because the message is crystal clear to me. If you are not NBA backed, you don't matter. You don't matter. The WNBA does not want measly regular billionaires. Who wants a regular billionaire? Who wants that? No. The WNBA only wants NBA billionaires. That's it. As if being worth a few $1 billion is not enough unless you have an NBA logo stamped to your resume. Guys, that's pretty insulting. It's pretty insulting. And it should light a fire under every single independent WNBA owner. I'm looking at you, Chicago, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Seattle, you've been warned. If the league can tell the Mohegan Tribe no, after 20 plus years of loyalty, they can do it to you too. They can block your deals. They can override your decisions because you don't matter. As an independent owner, you don't matter. That's what the league is saying. That's what they're saying. And it is wild. Wild. Here's the danger of this. I know right now all the NBA teams want to get in the WNBA because the WNBA is this big, shiny object that the NBA didn't want before, but now they want. The NBA was pissed that they had part ownership and they don't want it. It's losing too much money and yada, yada, yada. Teams didn't want it. Right? It was a fire sale of WNBA teams. Actually, really not a fire sale because people didn't want it. So it just disbanded. But the Tribe wanted the Orlando Miracle. They bought it, invested in it. Now they're falling behind. And they want to sell. And the league is saying, you know what? Sure, whatever. You sell for the price we want to the team we want. They told the Mohegan Tribe to sell to Cleveland. Mohegan said it wasn't enough money. It pissed off the WNBA. The WNBA said, okay, we'll give you $250 million for it. Lowball offer. The Mohegan Tribe said, no, it's not enough money. And the WNBA is saying, hey, you're stuck. You're stuck. You can't do anything without the Board of Governors approving it. You can't do anything. So good luck. Good luck. Can you believe that's where we're at? And I want to lead to the biggest danger I see in this whole thing. The biggest danger is that the more the league ties itself to NBA ownership, the less freedom the league has. You want to expand the season someday? You want to expand it further? Well, the NBA comes first. You want to grow on your own terms? Too bad. The NBA billionaires get priority. If the WNBA keep pushing out independent teams and independent ownership, the league will go back to fully being a NBA side project. And if that happens, the WNBA loses the small shred of independence they currently have. They lose their ability to stand on their own and make their own decisions, even though they do have the NBA overlords over them. It would be even worse. So yes, the story is not just about the Connecticut Sun. The story is whether the WNBA values independence or if it only cares about quick expansion checks and NBA-approved billionaires. If it's the latter, guys, unfortunately, I see this as a recipe for disaster. Because the future of the WNBA thriving is reliant on eventual separation from the NBA. The WNBA needs to separate from the NBA. They need to buy back their ownership rights to the entire league, where the NBA owns a huge part of the league. The WNBA needs to buy that back. The WNBA needs to stand on their own, make their own decisions. Or you will forever be under the thumb of the NBA. Forever be at the whim of whatever they want. You want to expand the season? You can't. Because all your teams are in NBA arenas. So you can't. You want to start early? You can't. That's not good. It's really, really not good. So now it is. I gave my take. So it's time for y'all to give y'all take. What do y'all think? Should the WNBA let the Mohegan Tribe sell to the highest bidder, or should the WNBA keep control and move the Connecticut Sun to one of its own hand-picked cities? Now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this saga is far from over. And the more and more and more I report on the stuff that's happening with this thing, the more it makes me actually very angry about the WNBA and the moves that they're making and the severe missteps that will possibly lead to the collapse. I love the league. I think the league is awesome. The league is at this inflection point right now, and they are going all in a certain direction, in a NBA-led direction. I don't like it. I think the NBA is awesome. They have done a lot of great stuff for the WNBA, but it's time for the WNBA to start to fly on their own. Do you want to know the real reason? No. Not reporting speculation, but I think the real reason why the WNBA is pushing so hard against Boston is because Steve Pagliuca is a minority owner of the Celtics. And the Celtics' majority ownership has an interest in eventually getting a WNBA team. I think that's the real reason. If the Boston Celtics themselves said, we want a WNBA team, the WNBA would say, sell immediately to Boston. Sell immediately. But it's because Steve Pagliuca is a minority owner. That's why. Speculation, my opinion, but all the writing on the wall says that. That's why. That's why, because Steve is a billionaire, but he is not an NBA majority owning billionaire. That's the reason. That's the reason. All right. Let's get to your thoughts. Thank you so much, W. Bazil, for the super chat. Says, this channel is chicken soup for the soul. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you so much to Ken for the super chat. Says, bottom line, all new franchises are going to NBA owners. They want in now that they can make some money. That's enough NBA owners now in charge. Yeah. Back when nobody wanted the WNBA, and it was teams like it was ownership groups, independent ownership groups like Chicago, like Atlanta. It was when the Seattle Supersonics left Seattle, and an independent group said, you know what? We don't want the Storm to leave Seattle, so we're going to buy the Seattle Storm, right? That commitment. Now, are some independent ownership groups not as good as others? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. You got the likes of Mark Davis in Vegas, who can give the team whatever they want and all that stuff. And then you have the millionaires, not billionaires, millionaires of the Chicago Sky, who can't offer as much, but our team that's able to provide for their players and be another option. I think the future of the WNBA should be in independent ownership. But if you notice, who got expansion teams besides Portland. Right? If you notice who has expansion teams, it's NBA-backed ownership groups, right? The Golden State Valkyries, right? Cleveland, who's getting a team. Philadelphia, who's getting a team. Detroit, who's getting a team. Right? NBA-related companies. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Shri, yes. It's back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Somebody call Mike Jones. Somebody call Mike Jones. The WNBA is using his slogan. That's what it is. Back then, they didn't want you. Now you're hot. Everybody wants you. And you're going for the people who didn't want you before. I'm just saying. Amarachi says, do you think this saga will cause some owners to hesitate in selling because they don't want to be shortchanged? Example, Michael Altern and Chicago Sky. Possibly, yeah, possibly. All I know is this is wild, and that's my take. So I've gone over all the stuff that you all need to know about this thing, and then I gave y'all my opinion. Y'all can decide whatever y'all want to decide. I do have to run, but I do want to just say thank you so much for rocking with this channel. I'm not totally sure why, but like our numbers for the morning show has like severely been down for the last week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. Not exactly sure why. I don't know if people are just done with like news, like actual real news, and they want just all the fluffy stuff. But it is what it is. I'm going to try my best to continue to give you all meat, like real information. And we'll just see how it continues to go. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you all can share this with people, and more people can get back to being to rocking out with this channel. Thanks so much to Neek the Nerd for the super chat. Says Dallas Wings versus LA Sparks will be broadcast tonight, or broadcast live in immersive VR tonight in the Horizon Worlds and X Stadium apps in Meta Quest. Sit courtside in VR. Y'all, Neek the Nerd is always doing something with VR. I think it's pretty cool. I don't have a VR set, but if you all have it, if y'all have the Meta Quest, check out Neek the Nerd as she is rocking out with some courtside seats for that game. And so yeah, thank you, Neek the Nerd, for letting people know that. So yeah, if you have a Meta Quest, make sure to check that out for sure. For sure. But anyway, that's it. Thank y'all so much for rocking, and I hope y'all have a great day. Y'all, I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Let me make sure to do the exit right. There we go. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Maybe it's school. I don't know if it's school, but maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's hope people are interested in real stories again. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set,